Good evening, everyone. So we are today in a much smaller and a cozier room, like a family. I think we are 36 of us. And I thought, let us start. And as many other people are waiting to join the meeting, we can perhaps, maybe we can start the foot soak. Today I'm joining. So many of you, I'm sure, know me. I'm Shalini. I'm joining from Oxford, back in the UK. And I'm joining you today with Astik. Astik is the IT tech person who is supporting us. And Astik has been I can say, the main person who has been with us since the beginning. Astik, I don't know whether you want to say hello to everyone. Astik, can you hear me? You want to say hello? I can't hear you, Astik.
Yeah. Hello, guys. Nice to meet you all.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So, so today in this evening, we are going to have a short introduction about the topic, which is detachment. And then we will have foot soak, silent meditation. And perhaps at the end, I would like you all to just chit chat with each other about the topic, because detachment is such a wide topic. It's understanding, it's perception, how to be detached is so wide that we can talk to each other. And even if you don't have a yogi, a Sahaj Yoga practitioner in your room, I think that is also fine, because we all have been meditating for 21 days and you have a mentor to ask if you have any question about this topic. I actually want to feel more comfortable, and I want to see you all. Is it possible, Astik, for everyone to open their cameras? Yes, I can see that. Okay, and let me change my view. I want to also change the view, Astik, to the gallery view. Right. So the focus is not on me, which is great. We are just meditators, and we are not also somebody who are a lot on the screen, and it takes a while to get used to it. But it's been a beautiful journey. It has changed as soon as I see you all, even though your cameras are not on. I see that I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to you all, and that just changes everything. Makes you more relaxed and makes you, yeah, we are all together, just going to meditate. It's not something, something which should bother me and I should be conscious about. Great. So I would like to start that how beautiful it is that we are starting these follow-up programs on this auspicious day. Today is 21st of March already in India. And this is the day when Shrimataji, the founder of Sahaj Yoga, was born. And it's now 100 years. She was born 100 years ago. And for me, every day it has listening to her, what she has very beautifully, like a mother, guided us in transforming our lives to very ordinary, stressful, running around, rushing around in our brains, to somebody who is more calmer and, can see things from a distance. So I'm really, from my heart, very, 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 very thankful to Shrimataji for coming on this earth and guiding us. Without taking much of your time, I would just talk like 2 minutes on detachment. If Astik, you can share my screen, please. It's so very nice, when your cameras are on and I can see the smiles. It just changes everything. It feels more human. Okay. So detachment. I had in my last, like third last session, I had spoken about detachment. And, we all have our different journeys, even in Sahaj Yoga. And for me, my life was absolutely chaotic when I started meditating. Like all the things possible that can happen to a person. Not all, but a lot of things. Like, I don't have to like mention them. And I had started feeling very relaxed and I was sleeping well. But I had this fundamental question, as I mentioned also before. What is Shrimataji talking about spirit? What is this awareness? How do I bring that awareness in my real life? I'm feeling good in meditation, but these qualities of the spirits are amazing, and I don't have many of them. So how do I quickly do it? As a young person, you want to rush into things, and I wanted to know the mechanism. So I was just simply told that in our human awareness, we can be like at a physical level having a lot of issues with our body, mind, and emotions, or we could be at a very mental level, thinking of past or thinking of the future, worrying about something, the office, or a lot of things. And I was told that the physical awareness maybe dominate the spiritual awareness. And there comes a time when you meditate and become conscious that the spiritual awareness start dominating your body, your mind, your emotions. And it sounds amazing, but how do I do it? That was a question. And they said you have to consciously have a very strong desire, of course, and also see what is your human awareness. Like, where are you? What are your attachment? Where is your mind all the time going? And what are the things that's always affecting you? So what I did is I really wanted to be the spirit. I can't really express how desperate I was to be the spirit, because I said, why not? Why not have this beautiful gift for myself? And they said, you have to be desire to be the spirit, and then see what are the qualities in you, or what are the things that are not like the spirit. So I used to be very reactive. And one of the things that I've selected for this evening and for this week is experiencing the qualities of the spirit through detachment. And detachment is a very wide word, but I had started it with no reaction. So I used to travel 2 hours from one hospital to another. I had a lot of other issues going on in my life, divorce and family issues, financial issues, and I wanted to really switch from those things. And I said, I will not react. Just simple, whatever happens, I will not react. So like if I miss my train, if I miss my bus, I will not react. I will just watch it. Okay, I miss my train. So nice. Doesn't matter. Just simple things I started, and that simple thing actually became a habit. It's a habit also to react. And one big thing that happened with my life was I got selected for a very high position in one of the largest cancer hospital. And they gave me the letter. I resigned from my post as a lecturer. And then after a few weeks, they called me back and say, sorry, there is a financial glitch and we cannot take you, And at that moment, I remembered the spirit doesn't react, And I said, okay, doesn't matter. That's it. I'm so proud of myself when I think of that moment, because everybody reacted. My HR, finance, everybody in my unit. But I did not react because I remembered to not react. After a year, I got the same job and in a much better financial package and everything. And I've just small incidents for myself became very clear that we are wasting a lot of energy in reacting. So what I would like us in this week, without talking a lot, that if you can, of course, meditate regularly morning and evening, and then just consciously see where is your awareness very pulled to, and do you really have a desire to move yourself to that higher awareness? And in that higher awareness, we don't react. That's minimum to minimum, and the reaction will, even if we react, we become conscious of our reactions. So next day you may react less, you may get less angry. This is my personal experience, and I think Shimadaji, you will listen to from her in the talk, that how empowering it is when your spirit starts supporting you when you expect the least, because we don't have a support system in this society. For me, moving from India to a foreign country and having a lot of expectations from the family and less support, I feel every human being need a support which is unconditional support, which Mataji and Sahaj Yoga has definitely given us. So what I would like us to do is, let's foot soak, let's start the meditation together. We can make ourselves comfortable, absolutely comfortable. So if you're wearing a belt, if you are not sitting comfortably, let's do that. Just if you don't have your foot soak ready, please, you can bring it still. If you have it ready, that's perfect. So let's relax completely. Sit on the sofa or wherever you're sitting. Relax your shoulders, your arms, your neck. Let's open our palms, close our eyes, forget the world, all the worries. Observe how you're feeling and keep breathing gently while doing so. Now we can gently raise our Kundalini very nicely. We can have our attention inside the spine, different chakras. Second time, 2 knots. And third time, 3 knots. Let's see how you feel on your palms. And now, with that, once you have awakened your energy, let's raise, put an arc around us 7 times. Every time you do, take your attention inside also, in the center of the spine. We can put both our hands on our lap. Let's take our attention on our heart and bring a smile in your heart, on your face. It's indeed a beautiful moment to be together. We can now put both our feet in the foot soak bowl. We can have our eyes closed. Astik, maybe if you can put Mataji's picture while we are meditating. So whilst our feet are in the water tub, we can put both our hands comfortably towards Mother Earth. Maybe I can share my screen. And we can ask Mother Earth to absorb or to suck all the imbalances we may have absorbed during the day. We can also ask Mother Earth to, Mother, please help us individually and collectively to nourish our roots, our qualities of sustenance. We can now bring our left arm back on our lap and right hand towards Mother Earth. Let's bring our right hand back on our lap and left hand towards the sky. We can bring our hand back on our lap and just sit in silence with our attention on top of our head on the fontanelle bone Sahasrara. And while sitting in meditation, let's very beautifully and gently, through this very intelligent mind, walk towards our spirit and through our attention. We can put our right hand on our heart and try to feel that love that heart gives to our body, to our system, to our organs, unconditional. Every second it is pumping that nourishment. So we can bring ourselves closer to our heart, the qualities of the heart, and say to ourselves that each one of us has that love. And very firmly state that, Mother, I am the pure spirit. In my human awareness, I am also the spiritual awareness. Bring our hand back on our lap. We can now wash our feet with the bowl you have on the side and dry your feet. And you can put the tub on the side for now. Astik, can we please have Shimalaji's talk?
Full attention. We put attention, but not attachment. So the attachment doesn't solve the problem. What solves the problem is attention. But when you are not detached, then your attention is attached attention. It's an attention that is not available to everyone, an attention that gets stuck, absolutely stuck into that person with whom you are identified. So try to understand. So to be identified with someone is not actually what we can say paying attention to that person. And then your attention will work. If you are of that level, whenever you put attention to that particular person who needs your attention, it will work. But if you are all the time wasting your attention on a person because you are attached to that person, your attention will be tired. It won't work out. It's a big, I should say, a paradox. That if you are attached to someone, then your attention doesn't work. And if you are not attached to that person, you do everything else. Now you have to give lecture all the time, give lecture. Then I have to do some cooking, I'll do cooking, this, that, and that. But all the time if you are thinking about that person, all the time you want to have connection with that person, it's not necessary. By that kind of attachment, your attention also becomes useless, absolutely useless. So let the attention be free. Attention should not be bound by your attachments. Attention should be absolutely free. So it works automatically. Automatically. And you will be amazed, even if you do not pay attention, the attention will work it. It is such a great thing to have this spiritual attention, which is nothing but love. It will just act. You will be amazed how it acts. It's another world I'm talking about, not this mundane world, but something higher, where your attention works, and works so beautifully that you are amazed how it has worked. But you should not bound it by your attachments. If it is bound, you can have a very limited sphere. Only the people who are attached to you, or you are attached to those persons. That's why identification is not the way a guru should work it out. And you have to notice what are they doing, why is it they are not improving or rising in their attention. What is the problem? Why the divine is not flowing through them? And you will find the reason for this is that people do not have good attention is because it is focused on someone all the time. They feel this is their responsibility, that it should be focused. It's just to give it's an explanation, it's just an explanation to say that, see, naturally I have to be worried about this, I'm worried about that. It's just an explanation. But if you really don't fix your attention to one person or 10 persons only, then your attention looks after the whole world. It receives all the information and also it gives all the information what is to be done to correct the situation. So one has to rise into that state where you do not get angry, annoyed, upset. No, not at all. What happens to you? That you see a situation and in that you are not involved. See the situation and you are away from it. Then you can solve that problem better. But if you are part and parcel of that problem, then you cannot solve. It's like this, I was telling, that those who are fighting, say, cannot solve the problem. But a person who is not fighting can solve the problem. So it's a very simple thing to understand that if you are identified, if you are involved with one person or with one kind of a thing, then you are lost. So our attention has to be always free and can be applied widely, wherever needed. That is the state one has to reach. If you reach that state of mind, it's not I'm saying you can do anything about it, it's just a state of mind. When you try to be deliberate about it, then it won't work out. But if you are sahaj, it will work out. So we come to the second point, apart from the attention, that we should leave everything into the hands of Param Chaitanya. Let the Param Chaitanya solve the problem. This is the problem, let Param Chaitanya solve the problem. We are not bothered. So a detachment comes in. You give the whole thing to Param Chaitanya to solve. So you are not in it, you are away from it. Very, very simple things are there. That if you understand that we suffer because everybody feels responsible for us. Everybody thinks they are responsible, they have to do this responsibility for us. Somebody says, this responsibility he has to do. All these things are worrying them. And that is the reason today we have a very complex society. They are suffering from all kinds of diseases in which only thinking is responsible. By this thinking all the time, thinking about one person, thinking about one problem, you reach nowhere. At that moment, what you have to do is to leave it to the Param Chaitanya. If it goes to the Param Chaitanya, it will manage. It will solve the problem.
So let's meditate in complete silence for a few minutes and try to recall what Mother just mentioned. Even if we can recall like 5 points, and then just put those 5 points in your heart to remember tomorrow and day after. And as we put these points, sorry, in our heart, also put a flower next to it. And in coming days, let's keep that flower, all these 5 flowers, fresh by putting our attention on these flowers. We can also take our attention on just the middle of our, where our spine is, spinal cord is in the middle, and take our attention from the base of the spine and slowly moving upwards. We can settle our attention on top of our head. And in this realm, we get what we ask. So we can collectively ask that may all of us have a deep desire to be the spirit. And also desire to enjoy all the beautiful qualities of the spirit. And before we close, the theme for this week is to try to not react. So to be detached is, I think, much tougher in the beginning. But if we can just consciously say, I will try my best to not react. And that reaction could be very simple, like when you're feel like commenting on somebody or something, or when somebody perturbs you, that is also a reaction and is not reality. So you can say, no, I don't want to waste my energy. Great, we can now collectively, we can open our cameras, we can raise our Kundalini together. And put ourselves into bandhan. So we do it this time. Second. So with regards to bandhan, there are two things that don't make it a ritual. Sometimes you may not feel like doing it, then you can go into that state, meditative state, and do it from your attention and see whether you feel the wave of coolness around you and on your palms. Also, sometimes maybe you're surrounded by somebody who doesn't like you doing it. Like, I was surrounded by, when I lived in hospitals for many years, I didn't want to be looked strange. So I used to do it with my attention. And then you get used to also, you see something very strange, you can put yourself in that bandhan. And on this topic, I thought I'll give one very silly example of this attention. Many of you may be going for yoga or Pilates. And at the end, they ask you to just do shavasana, like just lie down like a dead body. It's called shavasana, like shav is dead. And in that 1 minute, I used to go to sleep and used to see a dream. Always, always. Dream of some flowers, some water, and I used to be amazed. Oh my God, how does it happen? But one day, I used to go to the gym just right below my office. But one day I was very, I was not in a great state, things happening at work. And I went and I thought, I knew I'm not going to get sleep tonight, because it used to be so amazing, like 1 minute, absolutely refreshing. So that day it was taking time, like few seconds went by. And then I woke up with the sound of bells of the temple. One of the temples that I used to go with my mom in my childhood, and I was just right at the door with the bells like really loud. And I woke up, I'm like, wow, like this is amazing. From where does it come? And these small things amazes you because it's not you, it's not Shalini, it is something else which I wasn't aware of, you know. And second example, I would say about Shrimadaji talking about Param Chaitanya. And we really somehow in the society are not made aware of we are natural beings, we are not stones, you know, we die after a while, our body, you know, either it's buried or burnt. So there is some power around us, inside us, which nobody has told us. And when you are in a good attention, you know, when you are free, and it could be a child, your husband or your wife, anybody, since you are not very attached, when of course you love, you know, I love my husband, and his life is quite intense. He works in the intensive care and quite chaotic life. And many a times it happens that he calls me with a problem, and I just say, yeah, I you know, there's a few tricks in Sahaj you can use. You can, or you just put attention on that person that he's talking about, because hospital and academia is full of egos, full of really huge egos. People can really kill each other if they get a chance, because of many things. Even though we are a sector where we should have a lot of humility, and we do our good in front of patients, but a lot goes around otherwise. So when I put attention, he tells me afterwards, what happened? Things changed, you know, and I didn't do anything because in my mind, I don't have any power, you know. So Shrimadaji has given these small tips, which as a child, we all need. And whosoever is using it during when you're not meditating is what empowers us, you know. So there is a very good article I can maybe forward you. There are a lot of research that scientists have been doing about meditation. And then I'm not going to reveal the practice about this meditation, but one of the things is that human beings can get stuck in even meditation. So you can meditate in the morning, meditate in the evening, and in the middle, absolutely chaotic. And then you wait, oh, when will I meditate in the evening? And you say, oh, I love it. So what I would like to say, once you become more and more the spirit, you don't feel much difference with compared to when you're not meditating. You, of course, you know, meditative states is like an ocean. It's unexplainable. One can feel different depths, but once you reach a relaxed level, like an ocean inside, you're not waves high and slow, you are in the depth. When you meditate, you don't feel a drastic difference. So I would say, don't get only stuck with, oh, I have to meditate, but focus on what is the reflection of this meditation in the morning to the whole day, and in the evening, the whole night. And sleep, I love my sleep, you know, and then you will see how quickly you sleep. You will start measuring it, you know. So many people say, oh, I don't have time for foot soak. But how long does it take to go to sleep? Half an hour. Young people, like, you know, I know I interact with a lot of young boys and girls, and they take 15 to 20 minutes. I'm like, wow, what a waste of time. I'm a good sleeper. So between my meetings, I can send you a lot of publications on the sleep is the one thing that can change your life, quality of sleep. So I sleep between my meetings, like I try to sleep for 15 minutes in the day. And it just, your mind once gets trained, switches like this, whatever you like. And I would like you in this whole week with your mentor, and now we will spend like 5-7 minutes, talk about this topic, you know, have a really strong desire to not react. you can exchange phone number with your mentor or your partner whom you meet today and say, okay, let's really try to not react, And this conscious awareness is what I feel Shrimadaji talks about collectivity, is to uplift each other, and we really need to hold each other's hand that way. Because, for meditation, there's so many apps, but for this kind of support, there are not many platforms, especially, I don't know, people making money out of everything. So here, this is just a friendlier and a family environment. We can now spend, if you want, you can also share your views on detachment, or we can go into the merit breakout room and talk for 10 minutes. So we close like in an hour's time. So please raise your hand if you think we can just talk about few examples about detachment here with everybody, or you wish to go into the breakout room. You can open your camera and raise your hand also if you don't manage to do it. Okay. Okay, Dawn. I can see you. Who else wish to do it here? Come on, guys. We are not now in a very big setting. We are now much more comfortable here. We are only A63. Katie. Okay. Katie, you wish to share something about detachment?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm a teacher, and I always say to my students, because they're so busy and they fall out with everybody, I always say that nobody can make you upset or angry. We decide if we're going to let ourselves get angry or upset or whatever. And I just seem to apply that in life, and it's just changed my life. You can almost like detach or step back from any kind of situation, and it's just helped me so much, and I'm trying to instill that in my pupils as well. So that's my battle at the moment with them.
Great. No, your presence, once your energy is awakened and your awareness is something which is spreading, it will make a lot of difference. We have a movement within Sahaj called Inner Peace. We go to schools. We have been to, I can say, thousands of schools to awaken this awareness about inner peace within children. And when teachers start meditating, it's amazing.
Yeah. But
Because
thank you.
parents could be chaotic, but if teacher.
True. Thank you very much for all you're doing. Brilliant. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you. Thank you, Katie. And your smile was very effective on me. Anybody else? Okay, it could be the last one then. Any question on how to? Yes, we can see Surinder got.
Hi, hello.
Hi, Surinder.
How are you? I haven't put my video on. Do you want me to put the video on?
As you like, no worries.
Okay. I don't look that good today. I feel I'm not well today, actually.
Okay, no worries, Surinder.
Yeah. You talked about detachment, or Sri Mataji did, and when you're working, like I work for a big corporate company. It's a pharmaceutical company. I never know what's wrong with this video sometimes. And something happened last week, and this person spoke to me quite rudely, quite abruptly, and I'd done nothing. We were just trying to. I think I was just trying to find something for her, and she just sort of bit my head off, and I thought, my goodness, but I didn't react. But my colleague sitting opposite me said to me, she goes, after she left, she goes, my God, that was very abrupt. She was quite rude to you. And I said, yeah. She goes, just let it go over your head. She goes, don't let it get to you. But it did upset me internally inside. And for a few minutes, I just sat there and reminisced. And I thought, you know what you did has no reflection on me, because you've done yourself no favors by what you said to me, but it hasn't made you a better person than me, because if you're trying to compete with me, it doesn't really work in a working environment. But I think someone said to me she was actually bullying me, and that's not really allowed in a company. But I'm not going to take it any further. I have no desire to do that, because I'm not really going to achieve anything, and it would just make the process even longer, when you have to go through HR, and it just becomes too complicated. So I'm not really going to do anything. But and I think I learned that a lot from my mum. Actually, she was a very calm and collected person. She never got angry. I don't think she knew what the word meant. And in all the years that I was with her, and she passed away 8 years ago, she never got angry, and I don't know why. I don't know, maybe she just couldn't get angry. I'm just trying to ask, is there some people that just don't get angry?
Surinder, your camera is fluctuating. You can close it. Yeah, that's much better. So, this is a topic in itself. And I see a lot of questions on the chat as well, people who have gone through difficulties or some challenges. And I would like you to be very conscious of the fact that sometimes we don't act when we should act. If we do meditation, it doesn't mean that we should let go of people at work. I'm not saying we have to be reactive, but if you think somebody is rude to you, or somebody mentioned that person was bullying you, you have all the right to act. And this is also, there's another article I read that sometimes it is taught in meditative practices that, you can let go, but letting go always is not good. We have to, but to act needs courage,
Yeah.
So because I talk to many ladies, we have a group called Cosmos, and we interact, we just talk about human things like challenges every day. And I've learned a lot. And one thing women do more than men is they suppress their emotions, their anger, because they don't feel supportive, they don't feel confident in doing it.
Sure.
So we can talk about this topic. I think we have confidence in one of the topics that we have put in the program. And I work also in a big corporate world. My husband works for the NHS. And rude behaviors is the commonest thing, And no matter how high you go on the position, we face it. All of us face it, This is a fact, no matter where we work.
Oh no, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I just think, it's a bit like office politics, isn't it? People think they have more power than you, and they can treat you how they like. And
but they don't have any right. Yeah, nobody has right.
No, they don't have a right, but they still feel that they can do that. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's very common.
I know. It's horrendous in companies at the moment. Some people don't even know how to talk to you, like politely, or be grateful, or say thank you. They just have this, I don't know, a persona about them that they think that they are above you, they're better than you. And that's fine. If people have that perception, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. If they want to be better than me, that's fine. And we're not out there in competition. I'm not there to compete with them. I just think if someone respects me, they will get respect from me. But they treat me like that, then I can just ignore them as well.
I just want to conclude what you said is, it is happening because it's happening in families. It is happening at home. It is reflecting at work. Absolutely. Whatever is happening outside is happening inside.
Yeah.
Inside, in homes and the companies.
Yes.
So, and the countries, like wars and attacks. It is just a reflection of our inner being, So I would say wherever we have to act, we should act. And wherever we can have compassion, especially at home, I would say, with your partner, with children. Minimum reactions is what makes the relationships more fragrant and flowery. And I've seen a lot of reactions back home. I'm from north of India. It's more male dominating. And I got married to a person who is absolutely an angel. He doesn't know how to act, how to react. He's a head of the department, is quite in a position, but he doesn't meditate as regular as I, but he's an angel, and I get inspired seeing him because he has a spiritual awareness that I don't have in that extent, you know. So it becomes so beautiful for human beings to be examples for each other.
Oh my goodness.
You know, that kind of examples are missing in the society. For children, they don't have from their parents or from their teachers. And maybe we are longing for all material things, but what is missing and missing more and more is just beautiful, simple human awareness, which can be brought to more spiritual awareness. And that will transform things individually, in families, then the society, and, you know, much more in the world.
Oh, no, I agree. But I think a lot of it is about if you want to learn from your elders, you can do. You don't have to tell someone to, you know, you should do this. You know, everything I learned from my mum. My dad passed away a long time ago. We were quite young then, over 32 years ago. But what I'm trying to say is that it made mum a different person. And when we looked after her, and she was a very wise person. She had a lot of, you know, whatever she said, she always thought about who it's going to impact, how I should say it, don't want to upset this person, don't want to upset that person. And whatever she said, it was very neutral. So there's always a way of dealing with any situation.
Of course.
In a family, or, well, I can't talk about, well, work is different, but in family, you know, you always have, I think, the one person that can actually keep you know, the peace, the family together. And I think the mother is always that person. I think it's well, in my family, it was my mum who kept the family together. And she was the you know, the one main contact. And and now she's not here.
So sorry to hear that, Surinder.
It's not a family anymore. I know it's hard for me to say, but it's not. Just don't have that family relationship anymore because mom's not there anymore now.
Yeah.
I just had a quick question or a quick thought.
Yes. Yeah. I was coming to you. Sorry.
That's okay. So the first thing is, you said, do you want breakout rooms or do you want to have a group talk? Raise your hand. And so then everybody's like, group talk? Which hand do we raise? It's like, is there a no? For me, I wanted to have a great breakout groups because I really like getting to know individuals, and I like the one-on-one or, you know, 1-on-3 or whatever. So that was my vote. But I was like, which one do I, which one's which?
Sorry, I should have made it clearer.
That's okay. Just figured that's why people were going, and you didn't get any reactions at first. I was like, there's a reason.
Also, we were late. I think it was already 46, and I thought, okay, two people have raised their hands, and we can just take two.
Yeah, this works.
Examples. Yeah.
So
I'll make it more clearer next time.
Sounds good. The let's see. Okay, that's one thing. The other thing was, actually, there's three things. You mentioned her in the video, she was talking, and you were talking about just putting attention on a situation and the people in it. And I had a situation recently where there was several people, they were all fighting with each other. And I was in there, and it's just like, I don't see a resolution for this. I can't fix this. And so in the end, I just actually just put my hands up and just stood back. And I just focused on their good traits of the people involved. Just focused on what I liked about them for a moment. And that's it. And magically the next day, they all just kind of, I don't know, it just resolved itself like it wasn't there. It's really amazing. And the other thing is, I loved your talking about come up with 5 things that you heard during the talk and then place a flower next to them and keep the flower alive by putting your focus on it. That was such a great idea. How, I came up with 3 things. I was wondering what your 5 things are, and that's the last thing I had to say.
Great. You want to share what would you like to share your 3 things, or you?
Oh, the first thing was just simply focus on detachment. Second thing was don't react to things that stimulate me on an emotional level, especially. And the third thing was the idea of releasing attachment to people, specifically your attention on people as far as how they are and how much you love them, and you want to maintain your connection with them, and see what happens if you just let go and just be aware of them and what they're doing. Because that's a new idea to me. I've always felt that being focused on people was very important. I've never lived a life where I wasn't focused on everybody. So those are my 3. So you had 5.
Yes. So my 4th was that Shrimataji spoke about Param Chaitanya.
Yeah, that's the big attention, the intelligence that overarches everything. I'm not familiar with that word.
Yeah, Param is the whole, and
Mm.
Chaitanya in Hindi is the cool breeze that we talk about. So the all-pervading power that is all around us, we forget about that power. And the closer you are to your spirit, quicker you remember to surrender.
Mm.
You know, so if you are very far, then you might remember after 8 days of hard work.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh, I'm so tired, let me surrender. But if
Because you have to, because you're exhausted.
because you got completely exhausted. But if you can swiftly do it, then it saves a lot of energy, Yeah. And my 5th was, like Shrimataji also spoke about, that how powerful it makes us when you are not attached. And truly that detached love is amazing. People admire that love. All the people who had issues, I love all of them now, regardless of whatever it was, and they all look towards you because they know you are absolutely no expectations from them. You are unconditional towards the love. They can feel, everybody can feel when you love them for no expectations and they come to you.
I think they can probably also feel when you are mad at them and in your head, in your mind, that energy is probably going at them as well.
Yeah, that madness actually goes. I mean, it's very rare. Touch wood. I've been married for 6 years, and me and my husband never, like once a year also, we don't have that quarrel, any argument. It just doesn't happen because I don't know. It's just you distance. It happens that you naturally are distant from it. That kind of negative reactions. I would also like to end today's session by saying, let's not feel guilty, about when we are not able to fulfill these expectations. It will happen. We will react, sometimes less, sometimes more. We are in a journey where we want to make it less naturally by being more aware and deeper meditations. So my recommendation is not to, I'm not a person who would like to always have guided meditations. I like quite deep meditations, silent. I like to be in silent. And you feel the oneness with the whole when you are silently meditating. If you have time, do it as much as you want. And in between 2 sessions, you can bring yourself in the collective vibrations, because we have many meditators here who are attending the session. So you get into that vibratory awareness. So it both try to do that. Now,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Looks like there was one more person that has a question.
Yes, maybe this is the last question, because what is our intention that we keep these sessions as short as possible and not make them very vocal, so that we remember the meditative state that we actually experience. Steve, are you going to be here on Thursday?
It's Christine. Yes.
Christine, yes, what to say? Yeah. Thank you. Anyway.
Okay, you're welcome.
All I want to say, Shalini, is thank you so much. Yesterday I had an altercation with my son, and the other day you talked about a gap. And I was able to actually pull away from the conversation and sit very, very still, and he sat very still. And I've not got it right because I'm new to this, but I used like 5 minutes of sitting really still and just waiting for my body to sort of go through and not react. But thank you for the one on the gap. I'm going to go again and look at it. I think it was it Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday.
Well, thank you so much, because that really sort of made me think.
Okay, well, there are a lot of examples what Shimadaji suggested to couples who were with each other a lot, and they went to her and say, what shall we do? So I will maybe give that example on Thursday.
Yes,
and
thank you so much, though.
Absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. So why don't we all just bring ourselves into that silence before we go away, so that we remember it. So let's close our eyes again. And again, let's get into that spiritual awareness. Check all the flowers. Take the smile in your heart. And for a few seconds, we can put attention in the whole room. In that state of the spirit, we are all one. In that state, we feel each other, understand each other. Now slowly let's raise our Kundalini and put ourselves into Bandhan. And I wish you all have a wonderful evening, rest of your evening. You sleep well and have beautiful Tuesday and Wednesday. And we'll meet again on Thursday evening at the same time. And we'll try to finish on time. Thank you. Good night,
Thank you
everyone.
so much. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.